So, can anybody guess what we are going to be learning about today?
Rabbits.
Correct. We are going to be learning about rabbit showmanship. So, our objective is learning how to show a rabbit, and then our tasks for today are just learning the beginning steps of how to show a rabbit. So, the first step in showing is to handle the rabbit. So, to do that, you can either scissor the rabbit's ears, or you can grab both, thumb on one side and on the other, and then with the other two fingers, you will just kind of grab its scrubs, so you're not just grabbing by the ears. I like to scissor the ears. I think it gives me a better grip, but people have different opinions. And then you will lift up their head, and then you just scoop their butt. And once you got that, you will just tuck in their feet. And you will take a step back and put your arm down. The next step is just putting your rabbit back on the table. The judge will tell you to pose your rabbit, and then you'll pick up your rabbit all the way off the table, and you'll put butt and then head down. So, posing a rabbit, there's different types of ways depending on the breed. You can pose it a long way, so it's stretching the rabbit out like a Himalayan, or you can pose it like another dwarf and you just lift up its head. But he's a Polish, so he gets posed like in a little ball. So you'll just scrunch him up to where he's nice and round. You'll tuck in each foot so they're not hanging out. And then you'll place his ears according to his breed standards. His are supposed to be straight up, but like mini lots, you would put them down. And then you just brush his fur back, and you find his tail and just pull it so it's not tucked under him. And then you take a step back and put your arms down. And then the judge would tell you to examine your rabbit. So to examine your rabbit, you will pick him all the way up again, and put his butt and then his head down. And you will first examine his ears. So I squeeze each base and then check in the fur or ear to look for any mites. And I just run my fingers up his ears to look for like any cuts or scratches. And you do judge first and then the one towards you. And on his left ear, he has a tattoo. And it says MM, which are my initials, but it can be whatever you want it to be or whatever you came with. And then once you check his ears, you move on to the eyes. Does anyone know why we check the eyes?
Blindness, right?
Yeah. And you'll check to see if his eye colors are the correct color. So you can either swoop your finger down to see if he blinks, or some people just move their finger to him so you can hope he blinks. And then you just do that. And after that, is step 6, you'll check his throat or dewlap. So does anybody know what a dewlap is? So a dewlap is only on does, and it's to keep their young ones warm. So he does not have a dewlap because he's a buck. And so to check the throat or dewlap, you will just move your finger under him and you'll just feel for any lumps or abnormalities. And then that's an example of a dewlap. And then the next step is probably the hardest step, which is flipping the rabbit. So you can either, again, scissor the ears or grab them on each side. So I scissor, and then you'll just scoop his butt and just flip over like that. I'll show it again. So you'll scissor his ears, pick his head up, and scoop his butt. So something you need to know about before anyone tries to flip the rabbit is that they can easily break their backs. So that's why we don't grab them like this and try to flip them that way. it also keeps us safe the way we flip them, so they're not wanting to wiggle out or trying to scratch you. Flipping them a different way, you could get bit. So now before we try to flip a rabbit, I'll have you guys do this paper. You're just going to number them from which ones we start with to the last one, so number them 1 through 6. And there is a bonus question. If you want to answer it for bonus points, you can. A lot of you guys are finished wrapping up, so we are going to practice. Would anyone like to try? The same way you flip them, just backwards. Anyone else like to try? Okay, so now after you were to flip them, I'm just going to show you how you would flip them back onto the table. So they're like this, and you just will grab their butt here and just scoop them and flip them down. We flip them because we are able to then check their nose for like sicknesses in their mouths, and you're able to easily just check to see their legs and examine to make sure they're straight and that they have all 5 toes in the front and only 4 toes in the back. You can also easily check them their hocks that way, and you will then check their sex as well. And so he is a male, which